Great gathers, bring us some magic!
I'm doing fine. How are you? I'm doing fine. How are you? Edit, take one. Well, I tried to go to Ljubljana. They didn't want me there, so no. Well, I got band members here, and they can't come to, let's say, Jerusalem. The borders are closed, but I could get out. We had a gig, and I wanted to do some writing sessions, see where I stand with the guitar riffs I have. So I thought this is a good opportunity now because every time everything gets pushed forward. So I wanted just to try the music I have in a live environment, like in a rehearsal room. It's, you can do demos alone and stuff like that, but you want to try it with everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to say the material sounds good, the new stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm here. As you know, I have two members in the band living here. Well, Slovenia, I mean, let's say, I think since 2007 or 8, I've been playing in Ljubljana regularly and had opportunities to sightsee. We had days off there. So I'm not a stranger to that. We've done also the metal days with the nature, and so it's a beautiful country. Maribor, on the other hand, I've spent here a few days in the summer before the corona and got to explore the city properly. I like it. It's a charming town. And now, okay, it's corona and everything's not open as it should, but it doesn't change our mission. You know, like we're here to write music and stuff. So maybe that's better, so we don't get too distracted. Oh,
Wine and beer.
Beer, yeah, I've tried all the beers. The wine I love. I like wine generally speaking. And one occasion we were in the summer in a place where they make all the wine and a lot of wine and stuff. But also here around the house there are small vineyards and stuff that the other day you cannot ask for anything better. We wanted wine, so we went to one of the makers. And it was after hours. They just opened, we got the bottles and brought them back here. So that's luxury. It's all vineyards around us.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't even two. It was three.
Okay.
It was supposed to be like we do Switzerland. And on the way back, literally, we're passing Graz. We're going to do Graz. And that's the painful part, is like we literally passed it. We had the car, the equipment, everything. So the Switzerland one went very well. However, till the last moment, the bookers were having challenges and many bands were canceling and stuff, that every band that arrived had to take photograph in the hotel or at the airport or whatever, like here, they're here, believe us, because it's so unstable, the situation. Like we're in the hotel room, they're like, here, we'll take a photo. The other band comes, here, we'll take a photo. And some people told me they actually came after really believing bands are coming. Some bands just canceled. It's crazy to arrange something at a time when there are restrictions from, and when you arrange it, they're coming from different countries. The more countries, the more challenges there are. We're also supposed to play like last weekend in Sarajevo. We've never played that, but also the same story. They said it's not going to work out. There's some new rules. Also, another thing, I figured the challenge for the Swiss concert, it was only 7 days after New Year's Eve. Now, whenever there's a new wave, and fully believe it, and there is a new wave, but they also try to make more rules because it's holiday season, like Christmas, New Year's Eve, because it's more where crowds join. And after that, some countries, if it's not a big disaster, they start easing a little bit. So, for example, when I arrived here, Switzerland was considered a red country. You're not allowed to go to. But as soon as I came here, well, we went from here, it's different rules, but it became orange country. You know, like They eased it a little bit, but the corona was on the increase. So I'm glad we did it. I'm very disappointed we didn't do Austria and Sarajevo. I'm just fascinated to go there for the culture. I wanted to see the place. That's one of the only places I haven't seen in Europe. So. No, nothing. Actually, January, I think it was January 2020, we did a headline tour, and then everything started to close. By end February, we managed to do a few shows in Russia, and then the whole thing started, like big. And since then, we didn't play. We had gigs, they were canceled, like they kept getting postponed. So no, like almost 2 years we didn't play concerts. And that was like brutal and strange. I haven't not played a gig for 2 years since, I don't know, since maybe like 28, 30 years, you know. So having a gap like that of not playing a concert is very strange. You know, we like playing the concerts. It's not only a financial issue or something. I enjoy it. It's an excuse for me to play the guitar as loud as fuck and people clap for me instead of shouting at me like, put it down. So yeah, that is 2 years almost didn't play. 2 years minus a couple of weeks. So yeah.
So you enjoyed it in Switzerland?
Everybody enjoyed it. Even the crowd. I was telling, come on, shout, let it out. You're not in the office. You're not at home working. Everybody was happy. You know, there were some technical fuck-ups, and people said that's even better because it's not a perfect DVD concert. They said that's how you feel it's a live concert. So everybody was enjoying and not taking it super seriously, but it was more like not only a music concert and a lifestyle, but it's all psychological need for everyone. So there was that extra element I haven't seen before in concerts. Like, we need this, you know, people were saying that. So it was good vibe, and it was done very responsibly. Everybody there, they can't go in the hole unless they show it's negative or recovered and stuff. So, and they're very strict about that. Even the crew, you know, every day we were being checked. So it was done responsibly. It could be done if you do it responsibly. There was a lot of people, but everybody at the entrance, just like you show a ticket, you show the right paperwork. Of course, there's still an element of risk, but it's minimized. It's when it's done responsibly.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 to 3 reasons for that. First of all, yeah, we don't rush albums, quality over quantity, and we tour a lot. It's not like we release an album, do 1 tour and sit. Like for Enki, it's around 9 tours.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and still people were coming. You know, that's kind of cool. I didn't think the last tour we did, I'm like, why? We've done so many. Like, yeah, there's a demand and people were showing up. There were some complications. I had personal stuff right a year or 2 after Enki's release. So that kind of slowed down the composition. But as you know, the Corona thing, I mean, that is the extra 2 years no one expected. So it would have been, 4 or 5 years, but the Corona came, and that adds, like, why rush writing when you have all the time in the world and you don't know if you can tour when it's out? So it's like, if you do it now or if you do it earlier, you're not going to be touring properly for it, you know? And on top of that, even now, if we give the master to the label, it used to take like 3-4 months and the album will be out. You know, promotion, printing. Now there's a supply chain issue because there's a lot of demand for vinyl, but there's not enough. Everything gets delayed with the schedules at the printing factory and stuff. So sometimes there's a waiting up to a year. Okay, it was like that in the heat of Corona, but then it became 6 months, then it changes to 8 months, and you know. So that's also like, if right now we gave the fully recorded album, it could still also take a year, you know, and that's also not in our hands. Before it would have been like, 2-3 months will be out. So basically, yeah, the Corona played a major role. And what's the rush? Like, there's so many bands releasing but not being able to tour. It's a pity, you know.
So it's very important to you that when the album comes out, you can go.
Oh, we're gonna
promote it
play
live.
everywhere, all over the planet. That's how we, can't wait to do that. We have a standby tour in America. We have standby Latin America. We have standby New Zealand, Australia, and of course Europe. So it's all just let's get the industry working again. Like half a year ago, Australia was like, we want to book you, but to be safe, early 2023. Just because they say we don't know what's happening, And, there are some things you need visas that are working visas that are valid for a year. Well, so you don't want to do processes again and again. So that's being optimistic, early 23. They're being like safe and optimistic. At first I'm like, well, that's very far. But then I see how things are. I'm like, okay, it will come. MELECHESH is not a one-trick pony. It's not one thing, but it's a domain. So we play and we freestyle in that domain. Be it heavy metal, thrash metal, black metal, it's all there, even hard rock and psychedelic rock, it's all there. But we're very free while doing that within our own sound. And actually, what I noticed is the last couple of years, I've been so into the music, it's liberated more. So it's more riff-oriented, like, it's going to be a good album. That's what I can say.
Okay, so...
Yeah, it's from the heart. That's what counts, and it's like a riff album. I love riffs, guitar riffs, Sometimes I don't hear guitar riffs anymore. I hear them as a rhythm in the background with one note or something. So no, it's a riff album. Unfortunately, me. It's a lot of work, and I wish it was someone else so I can just enjoy playing live, So that also takes time. So imagine when you're touring a lot. When you come home, last thing on your mind is to sit and start composing. You just throw the guitar away. If you're not touring a lot, you're actually focused on composing. So that's the positive. You try to see the positive with what's happening in this crazy world. So that gave me a chance to properly compose the way I want it. Oh, no, impossible this fall or this winter, because I told you, even if today I give the master, it'll take 8 to 10 months. It's not in our hands. So if we give the master, let's say in 2 months or 3 months, it's still going to take 8 to 10 months or something. So we're playing entering the studio between May and June, early July. That period is where we're supposed to be recording. Now, when it's out, we have no idea. So we hope that by the end of this year it'll be out, but worst case scenario will be like a month or two later. And yeah, hopefully by then the whole world is slightly more adapted to this crisis we're facing. I have several working titles, so I'm not so sure yet, but one of them might be called, I might call it 7, because it's the 7th album and it's a occult number that a Kabbalist in Jerusalem, an old man, was like, you should focus on the number 7. And I'm like, wow, dude, that's deep. How did you know? Like, I didn't know it's your 7th album, But also the funny part is when you write 7 in English, the V is literally how you write 7 in Arabic. The number, the V. Yeah. So maybe that. You see, if I say it now, it's an intention, but it doesn't limit your creativity if you have something else, Nuclear Blast. Yeah. Oh no, I really wish. Here we are. We could have played also. So when I'll come back, that all depends on the band's schedule. But regarding shows, we really don't know anything. And we don't even want to plan anything and get disappointed. So we say this is the best time just to focus on making an album. And in a way, it's a blessing in disguise. Like, if we keep on touring non-stop, it's again gonna delay writing. So this is the time to finish up. Yeah. Sirce peči. Slava Slavic.